Hey everyone, so this is the video lesson for multiplying decimals. Please make sure you have the PowerPoint slides that look just like this screen right here and split screen with this video lesson. So go ahead right now and make sure the video lesson and the PowerPoint are split screened. So this first slide, the steps for multiplying decimals, is for your use. This is a great resource for you to use as you go through these problems. As we go through these problems, we're going to be following all 4 steps as well. So step 1 is to line up the numbers on the right. It's different than adding and subtracting decimals. For multiplying, you do not line up the decimals. So adding and subtracting decimals, yes, we have to line up the decimals. For multiplying, you do not. You line them up on the right-hand side, and we'll show that in a minute. Step 2 is to start at the right and multiply each digit. This is exactly like how we multiply for whole number multiplication. Step 3, add your products. Step 4, we're going to move the decimal, and I'll show you how to do that in our first example. So here's our first problem. You should see a screen just like this, or a slide that looks just like this. Notice this box over here, this text box, says show your work. Insert a picture of your work here, or use the draw feature on each slide. So I'm going to be showing my work using the draw feature. If you have it, that's great. You can just write on the slide. If you don't, please make sure you have a pencil and a paper next to you so you can write down your work and then insert a picture. So let's get started. Problem number 1 says we are multiplying 8.7 times 2.8. And remember, in multiplication, there's 3 ways to show a multiplication symbol. Sometimes you'll see an X, so like 7 times 4. Sometimes you'll see that X. Sometimes you'll see parentheses, 7 times 4. And those parentheses show multiplication, and sometimes you see a little dot in between your numbers, which also means multiplication. So for this problem, we need to line our numbers up to the right. So this is 8.7 times 2.8. Okay, so we start all the way on the right with our multiplication. So that means we need to do 8 times 7 first. 8 times 7 is 56. So I'm going to put my 6 and carry my 5. Next we do 8 times 8, which is 64. 64 plus 5 is 69. So we're going to put 69, and then I like to tic-tac-toe. So cross out the 5, cross out that 8, and then don't forget to add your 0. Next we're going to do 2 times 7, which is 14. Drop your 4, carry your 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Okay, so that's all of our multiplication. Now we just need to add our products. I still like to add any zeros in any blank spaces. So now I have numbers to add. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 4 is 13. So I put my 3, carry a 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. Drop my 4, carry my 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is not our final answer. In normal multiplication, or in whole number multiplication, this would be. But for decimals, we cannot forget about the decimal in the beginning. So what we like to do is we see how many numbers are after the decimal in each of our numbers that we started with. And what I mean is, if you look at 8.7, notice there is 1 number after that decimal. So I'm going to put the word 1. Okay? And then in the number 2.8, there's 1 number after our decimal again. So I'm going to put the word 1. Now, add those 2 together. 1 plus 1 means in my final answer, I need to move my decimal 2 places in. Okay, so all I did was add 1 plus 1 and got my 2. So in my final answer, I start all the way on the right, and I need to move my decimal 1 2 places in to get my final answer of 24 and 36 hundredths, or 24.36. Don't worry, we're going to be doing a lot of practice with this in this video lesson. All right, problem number 2, 4 times 0.83. So this is one of the instances that you don't worry about lining up your decimals. So I'm going to put my 0.83 on the top times 4. And notice how I put my 4 right under my 3, because we need those numbers to be all the way on the right-hand side. Okay, we want to line them up all the way on the right. So now that we have it set up, all we have to do is do our multiplication. So 4 times 3 is 12. Put your 2, carry your 1. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 1 is 33. And then I still like to tick-tack, so I am done. Now, my final answer, I have to remember to bring my decimal. So in my first number, 0.83, I have 2 numbers after this decimal point, so I'm going to put the word 2. And then for my next number, 4, we know our decimal in a whole number is at the very end, so that means I have no numbers after that decimal point, so that's just 0. And 2 plus 0 is 2, which means in my final answer I need to move my decimal point in 2 spaces. 1, 2. So my final answer would be 3.32, or 3 32 hundredths. All right, problem number 3. We have 7.5 times 0.49. So 7.5 times, I'm just going to put 0.49 because remember the 0 in front of the decimal does not really matter. And now our problem is set up so we can do our multiplication. So 9 times 5 is 45. Put our 5, carry our 4. 9 times 7 is 63. 63 plus 4 is 67. Tick, tack, toe. So cross out the 4, cross out the 9, put our 0. Then we have 4 times 5, which is 20. So put our 0, carry our 2. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 2 is 30. Fill in any missing spots with a 0, and then add our products. So our final answer, this would be a 5, 7, 6, 3. We need to look at our decimal point, so there is 1 number after our decimal in 7.5. There are 2 numbers after our decimal in 0.49. 1 plus 2 means I need to move my decimal 3 places in my final answer. So we'll start after the 5 and move 1, 2, 3 places. So our final answer should be 3.675, or 3 675 thousandths. Go ahead and try number 4 on your own, and then check back with the video. I'll go over it with you. So hopefully this is how you set up your problem. From here, when you do your multiplication, or when you did it, 8 times 6 is 48. Drop your 8, carry your 4. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. Tic-tac-toe. And now we can multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 0 is just 0. Fill in any missing spots with a 0, and then we just add. So 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 6 is 10. Drop your 0, carry your 1. And then after that, you should have moved your decimal in. This was 2. This was 2. So 2 plus 2 says we need to move our decimal in 4 places. So this one's a little tricky with your answer. Start after the 8, and we need to move 1, 2, 3, 4 places. But that leaves a blank space before that 1. If there's a blank space, remember we fill it in with zeros. So your final answer should have been 0.0108. So again, make sure you have that 0 right after the decimal. That's a very important 0 that needs to be added in. Because if you put your answer as 0.108, that is incorrect. Okay, you need that other 0 right after the decimal. Go ahead and work on number 5 on your own, and then check back with this video to check your answer. So hopefully when you did your multiplication, you got 3144, and then your decimals in your answer, this should have been 2, and then this one would be 1. So 2 plus 1 means in your final answer you need to move your decimal place 3 spaces. So start after that second 4 and go 1, 2, 3 to get your final answer of 3.144. Go ahead and try number 6, pause the video, come back when you have your answer and check it. Alright, hopefully you got the final answer of 19 and 75 hundredths. If you did not, check my work with your work. Alright, this next slide says to pause here. So you are going to take a check-in. Notice where it says click here for the check-in. That is a link that will take you to the form. Please complete that form, show your work, because we are asking that you upload a picture of your work from the check-in into this slide. After you finish your check-in and upload or insert a picture of your work, you are free to move to the next slide, which is practice problems. There is a key for you to check your work for all of those problems. Good luck.